Hey Scorpio, thanks for visiting. This is your reading for mid-January, and as I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you like to do. And if you want to support this channel, there are ways you can do that in the description down there below in that description box. And the other thing is, I'm really grateful I've got a new sponsor, which is amazing, and it's amazing to me anyway. It's with a company called Keen. And it's a website. Obviously there are thousands of readers on there, lots of spiritual advisors. It's quite an affordable way to get a private reading if that's what you want to do with someone. You can choose from lots of different readers on there. So if you want to do that, if you're interested in looking at that, that link's in the description down there as well, and more information about that as well. So no more of that. I'm going to get right on to your reading for Scorpio. Right, so the first card you've got for your past is the Four of Cups. Before I say anything about this, this feels quite complex, this reading, before I start. So hopefully I'll be able to make some sense out of this for you. I really hope I can, because I'm already getting this feeling of, oh, this is really complex. There's lots going on. So I'm going to try my best. So just keep that in mind. It feels a little bit stressful. And yeah, you've got the Tower as well. That's standing out to me right away as well. You can see it there blazing away on the right over there. So there's some kind of shake up coming. I can't get around that. You can see that there. I think for you it feels a little bit like you're on the outskirts of that tower. So it feels like you might be on the outside looking in. But the Tower can be a good thing. You know, the Tower can be about exposing something. The Tower can be about something coming down, something not being there that's not supposed to be there. So, and I won't talk about world events. That's all I'm going to say. So, so the Tower can come down when it's supposed to come down. So, anyway, so yeah. I think you might be getting that feeling that there is a big change coming. There's kind of a rumbling. I think you kind of feel that because you're very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. You've got lots of spirituality inside you. And it's very, very powerful. I don't know if you realise how powerful that are, but I'm feeling, you are, I should say, that spirituality inside you is. I'm really feeling that coming from you. And you've got the star here. So, yeah. You're very, very, very powerful. I think what's happened, okay, this is for someone here. It's quite specific. If you're the kind of person who, or I shouldn't say the kind of person, but if you've been in lots of relationships that have ended quite quickly, very early on, maybe you've been dating a lot if you're single, and you end up with someone and they kind of disappear, or they ghost, or they leave you quite quickly. Part of that is because obviously you've been with some horrible people who shouldn't ghost anyone. That's appalling. I can't bear people who do that. It's very cowardly. But the other thing is, I think you've got that very strong spiritual core inside you. And I think people can feel that. And they can feel that you're a little bit different. Especially these kinds of people who you don't want around you. Especially people who are maybe a bit weak, they're dishonest, they're liars, whatever they are. Those kind of people can feel, okay, I can't get away with this for very long. I know I can't get away with this. So I'll disappear. So that spirituality that's inside you, it's fantastic for so many things. And you know that because your instincts tell you what's coming up. I think you can feel that really clearly around people. You know what people are like. I think sometimes you know what people are going to say. But I think in love, because your heart gets ahead of your instincts, and that's been a weakness for you, I think, a lot in your past in relationships. It's hard for you to realise that spiritual core, that very, very, very strong spiritual core you've got inside you, that's your filter. It's like a big beacon. It's like a big what are they called? Not a light tower. What are those things called? Light tower. Those things that ships see. Is it called a light tower? I don't know, whatever it's called, I've forgotten. But that's you, and you're standing out, you've got this big light, and they see you there, and then I can't get away from this. I can't get away with things. I can't get away with lying. I can't get away with, bad behavior with this person. I can just sense that around them. I'm going to get away. and leave early. So if that's what's been happening to you, that's why. And sadly, these kinds of people, people who hurt other people emotionally, lead people on, all that kind of thing, they do go to the weaker people, very, very sadly. And so, yeah, you're not one of those people. And again, your spirituality is a filter, so it's good for you. So embrace that, know that, and just know if you've had all these people who have ghosted you, run away early, it's because of your strength. So just know that, and it's good you're not with them. It's good you're not with those people. So the other thing I'm getting here with this Four of Cups and this Star is, it feels like you've been shifting away from some people. And it feels like that might have something to do with the spirituality that's inside you as well, because I'm getting that growing a lot, and I think it's grown a lot in this past year, and it's going to continue to grow this year as well. But I think you've kind of gotten, I know this sounds horrible, but I think you've kind of gotten past a lot of people that you've been around in the past. You're kind of on a different level spiritually from them, and I think when you're on that level spiritually, you see everything in your world in a completely different way to where you were before, or how you saw things before, I should say. And so I think it kind of feels like with some of these people of your past, and I'm getting groups of friends here, that, you used to fit in really well, like a puzzle piece, and now you're like puzzle pieces that aren't supposed to fit. So what I'm seeing is you're going to gradually move away from a lot of those people. I don't think you're going to kind of, cut them off or do anything dramatic like that. It feels quite gradual to me, but I think that's going to happen. The other thing I'm getting here is, with this, I'm just looking at this Five of Pentacles down here. I think what's happened to you as well in love is, and that's kind of in your head as well. I think it's always in your head, and I think you're still in the aftermath of something that's happened to you. You've had a big heartbreak, and this is before I think you started dating. You kind of had this big heartbreak, got out of that, and then I think you started dating, and you caught a lot of dods, I think, when you were dating. But before that, you were with someone, they really hurt you. I'm getting abandonment, actually, which is what's in that Five of Pentacles. I'm getting someone who really, 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 really broke your trust. I'm actually getting someone who might have taken money from you. And so what's happened is you've really had to build yourself up again from nowhere, from scratch. You've been on the floor emotionally, and you've been on the floor financially, and you've grown, and you're able to grow from that. You might not be all the way there yet, but you've been able to get out of that because of that spiritual strength that you've got, and you wouldn't be where you are now without that. So it's helped you in so many ways, and so I just wanted to point that out to you as well. And I'm getting another thing here for you. I know this is very, very complicated, and it might be for lots of different people, but I knew this was going to be like this. I could feel this. So if you're single, and you've been on that dating thing, and it's been all hit and miss, and you've had people ghosting you, and you've had all these kinds of people that were just not right for you, they're all cleared out of the way for someone else. Now, I'm getting someone here, I don't know if you're talking to them yet, it feels like you're talking to someone if this is you. This is if you're single. Now, you're just talking, I think you can feel the potentials there. That can be what the Star card's about. It's like, I know the potential's there, I'm just not sure. It's kind of hopeful right now, which the Star can be about that. I think this is going to grow quite slowly, and I think this has the potential to grow into something quite big. I really think this could be something really big for you if you're talking to someone right now. And I think you know that because you've got those instincts, and I think you can feel that. But I think part of you is like, oh, I can't let myself feel that because I'm going to be heartbroken again. I can't let myself hope. I can't let myself hope that this is going to turn into something, because you've had this person who really, really, really hurt you financially and emotionally. Plus, you've had all these people you've kind of started dating, and you've had all these kind of people that have been really not right for you. So you're like, is anyone actually out there who could be right for me? I don't think there is. And I can't even begin to hope that there might be, because I know I'm just going to be hurt again. So yeah, I think just let this happen. Just let this grow. Don't start thinking, oh, is this going to be something? Is this going to be the love of my life? Are we going to get married? Are we going to this? Don't start going down that road. Just enjoy your time with them. Enjoy talking to them. I am seeing this happening really slowly. I'm seeing this developing slowly. And I think as you keep on talking, you'll get that confidence back. You'll realise they're actually a good person. And yeah, I think this can grow into something really, really good. Again, at the moment, you can't see that because the star card is all about starlight, not seeing everything as bright as it should be yet. When the sun comes out, after you've been through all that, you know, you've processed a bit more of that and you've come out of that a bit more, I think you'll start to see the full potential there. But again, don't get stressed. Don't kind of don't lose hope. That's the other thing with this star card. And don't kind of think, oh, I won't let myself hope because, you know, it won't be anything. Because it never happens to me. It never works out for me. This does have the potential to work out, to work into something, or to turn into something, or to grow into something, I should say. Really, really, really nice. That's what I'm seeing there. So yeah, take it on. And again, I want to point this out to someone here. I'm not seeing any using. I'm not seeing any financial problems. I'm not seeing anyone who's going to take your money or leave you high and dry. So I wanted to point that out to someone who's been through that horrible problem with this axe. All right, so the first card you've got your presence, this absolutely beautiful world card here. So yeah, this is freedom. This is victory. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start right in the middle, rather than starting with the world card. My eyes looking down to that chariot right now. So what I'm seeing in the chariot is, if this is all resonating with you, you've come out of the actual worst. You've come out of the 5 of Pentacles, where someone left you out in the cold. They let you high and dry. They left you really, really, really hurting, at your lowest, on your knees almost, injured, hurt, like these people here. And after that, I think you're a bit like this man in the chariot. You're like, okay, I have to close myself off. I have to put this box around me. I have to shut myself off from everyone. And what I've got to do is I've just got to work, 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 and just forge ahead, forge ahead, forge ahead, until I've got myself out of this hole. And I think now you're above the chariot. So now you're at this space where you're not white knuckling anymore. You're not, you know, stressed about paying the bills. You're not in that situation. You're not up at the world card yet. But what this is showing you is you're about to get there. You're about to get, this year, you're coming out of that time where you just work, 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 work with your head down. You're coming out of that. You're coming into more freedom. So you're going to have more freedom with your time, and you're going to have more financial freedom. So that's what that's showing you. So if you've got a business, it might be that you branch out into new things. If you've got a job or whatever, it might be that you've got a promotion, or you're able to have more flexibility, money-wise and time-wise. So that's that sequence I'm seeing there. So the other thing I'm getting is, yeah, here's this person you're talking to. So I'm getting this now in the Queen of Wands. So again, I'm getting this slow progress. I'm getting this really, really lovely person. You don't need to worry. They're not going to break your heart. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to do anything like that. And again, I think your money, I don't want this to be a money reading, but I think your money is even more precious to you than it was before. Because having lost something and really, really, really worked to gain that back again, and you should be so proud of yourself if that's you. The fear of you losing that again is even more intense than it was the first time. So you've always kind of got that hanging over you, that someone might take from you again if that's you. Again, I'm not getting that around that person. I'm not getting them taking from you or doing anything like that. But, you know, I can tell you that forever. You have to feel that, and you have to grow, you have to process that. You have to heal properly from that old problem that's happened to you, that old ex and that situation, all that, for you to know that. So, okay, all right, I'm getting something here around this person that you're talking to. So, again, you're going to grow, you're going to connect, you're going to get closer. Again, it's happening gradually. This is what I'm getting happening around them. Okay, and it's happening to lots of people here. It's very sad, very, very sad. There's some kind of job, it might be a job loss. It might be a job cut. It might be that they have their time cut and they have less money. It might be that if they're in a business, they lose some business. So what I'm seeing is you're going up financially, and this person that you're with is going to have a very dramatic job problem or loss. It might actually be a literal job loss, or it might be that their business fails, or it just gets worse. It gets worse for them. Very, very, very stressful time for them. Lots of chaos around their head, lots of problems. And you know, you've got this tower. You've got this tower. So I think that's what that tower is about, actually. Because I was seeing you on the outskirts. Yeah, that's what I was seeing. So I was seeing you on the outskirts of the tower. So you're on the outskirts watching this person. You're slowly growing closer to, and you're watching them struggle with this. So the first thing I want you to know about this is, yeah, again, it's happening to a lot of people right now. And I think when this happens to them, it might trigger you a bit. Because again, you've got this problem around you that you think that they might want to lean on you financially, or they might even want to take advantage of you financially, which is what's happened to you in the past. So you've got lots of money triggers around you, lots and lots of money triggers around you. Again, I want to say this, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I need to say this for someone. They don't use people. They don't do anything like that. They're not that kind of person. But what they are going to do, I think, is they're going to rely on you a lot more emotionally. So they're going to need that kind of support coming from you. And you've got the Queen of Wands right down the bottom here, and she's a strong queen, super strong queen. So it looks like you're going to have to take that, or be in that supporting role for them, I should say, and just help them. Again, they're not asking you for financial support. I'm not seeing that if this is you. It's emotional support, and just being an ear to listen to. And yeah, so I think, you know, with this Chariot here, I'm just looking at this Chariot again. I think this is when the shift's going to happen from being a kind of a hopeful, a bit of fun, just chatting a bit, you know, being a bit flirty, thinking that this might be something that happens, which is what I was seeing over in the Star card. And I think this is the shift where things might start to get more serious between you, because you're talking about these serious issues. And you can see that shift there, because in the Star card, again, all about hope with that star. And now when you look at the Chariot, that star that was up in the sky as a kind of an abstract, maybe this will happen, maybe it won't, now it's on his head. So it's going from, it's up in the sky, pie in the sky, I don't know if this will happen. It's going from that to now we've got this love on our minds. Now we're thinking about this more seriously, like this man in the Chariot. So I think that's when the shift's going to happen. It's still very gradual, it's still very slow, but I think you're going to be in that supporting role for them when this happens. And again, it might not be a job loss, it might just be, but it is some kind of financial loss. It's around a job or a business, so there's some kind of big shock that they're going to have to cope with, if that's you, probably, if that resonates with you. And I hate saying things like that. I hate saying things, but if I see them, I have to say. So, right, I'm going to go on to your future now, because obviously this is in the Tower. That's what this Tower is about, this loss here, and you looking on at that and you trying to help. So yeah, just looking at this Tower now, just looking at this Tower properly. Okay, all right, I might have to go back on what I said actually. yeah, it's a surprise to me what I'm getting here in this tower, actually. So I was seeing the two of you coming together really slowly, but with this tower, with all this chaos and this job problem, very, very stressful time for them and for you, because you're going to be helping them. They might have to move, because I'm seeing something to do with a house or a move or something like that. It might be that they were buying a house and they're going to have to put a stop to that. There's some kind of chaos around a move or a house, so I'm getting that as well. But I think, yeah, between the two of you in the aftermath of this tower, I actually think it's going to bring you together really quickly. You know, I think you're going to come together quite quickly, a lot faster than I thought, actually. You're going to get serious, or you're going to be serious with each other a lot quickly, a lot faster, I should say. And yeah, you've got this stress. But I think also the other thing is, you've had this experience with falling flat on your face financially, if that's you. And you've had this, you know, all this kind of emotional loss, and you've had to build yourself up. So I think you're in a perfect position, if this is all resonating with you, to help them with that. You're in a really good place to help them. Okay, so this is a warning I'm getting. I'm getting a warning around this now. Right at the beginning when this happens, try not to, excuse me, try not to come up with too many practical solutions. Because I think that they're just going to be in processing mode. They're not going to be thinking properly, and they might take to that in the wrong way. They might say, oh, you're telling me what to do. I'm going through so much, you know, please don't say that to me. So just back off. And I think when they ask you, oh, can I just talk to you about this? Just say, yes, I'm always here to talk to you. And then, you know, what I'm saying is it has to come from them. You know, it has to come from them. And I think they will. They'll ask you to support them. They'll ask you lots of questions, and then you can step in and help. And I think after that happens, you're going to get really, 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 really close. Yeah, you can see that in the Ace of Swords. Sorry, the Eight of Swords. You know, she's got a blindfold on. So in the beginning, they're not going to want to listen to any practical advice. That's what I'm seeing there. But after a while, they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you and ask you, and you'll be in a good position to help them. And then you're going to be really, really close. I think when they come out of that shock mode and you start talking properly. And yeah, you've got the Wheel of Fortune down the bottom. So yeah, things are going to turn around for them. They are going to turn back around for them again. And yeah, what I'm getting in the Wheel of Fortune is I'm getting all this openness, I'm getting honesty. So yeah, they are going to open up to you, not just about this job problem, but that's going to lead to them opening up to you about other things. And yeah, very refreshing feeling around this. Yeah, no games. It's like, oh, where are all the games? Where's all the playing? Because that's what you used to, but there's none of that with this person. So yeah, that's what's in the aftermath of this tower. You know, freshness, honesty. And yeah, when they're back on their feet, I think that's when things are going to start to really, really progress really, really quickly. You know, this wheel's going to start spinning around really, really quickly. So yeah, they've got a really, really difficult time ahead of them. But they've got you. They've got you to help them and be there. And I think that's what they're going to see. They're going to see how supportive you are. And I think that's what's going to bring you really close together. So beautiful shared honesty. That's the silver lining in the cloud of the tower, I think, for you. Okay, so with this Wheel of Fortune, actually I've seen a bit of this before, but I'm seeing it again here. There's something that's coming to a conclusion. Now it might be, because I was getting this person that you're talking to, maybe having to move, maybe having to go back on a house sale or a rental or something like that, because of this money situation that they're going to find themselves in. And so I think I'm getting for you or for them, I don't know when this is going to happen, but there's some kind of weight, there's something that's hanging in the air for you or for them. It might be for you, I don't know, but it's something for one of you. So it's some kind of home. It might be, again, buying a house, it might be renting a house, and it feels like this thing's hanging in the air, just hanging there. It's like, when is this finally going to happen? When am I going to get an answer for this? So what this is telling you is that's going to turn soon. you are going to get an answer one way or the other, and it's going to put you out of your misery. I shouldn't say that, but it's going to give you an answer, and then you're going to be able to move on one way or the other way. Yeah, I think right now might not be a good time to look at buying a house now, or renting a new place, or moving. I know someone here has been thinking about that. I'm getting that. So if you do get the answer to say yes, go ahead and buy this, just take a step. I'm not saying don't do this, but just take a step back and rethink this, because I think, you know, that there's a lot of emotional energy around you when you're going to help this person, and there's a lot of stress around them, a lot of stress around both of you. Again, coming out of this is going to be a beautiful coming together, but while you're going through that, might not be the best time to make any big purchases or make any big decisions like that. Of course, it's up to you, but that's just what I'm seeing there. So yeah, no more of that. Again, I do think it was an all over the place reading. I'm really sorry if I was all over the place. It was quite complicated, but yeah, Scorpio, obviously it's a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but thank you so much for watching.